Hey guys, Zardapamafar here, and welcome to my breakdown of the entire patch notes from Update 3.0, or the Borderline, or Season 2 update, whatever you guys want to call it, for Rainbow Six Siege. And I'm just going to quickly go through all of the Operation Dustline patch notes that Ubisoft have put on their website. And I will also put a link to the patch notes in the description if you guys want to read along and or just look at all the patch notes after the video. So the first part of the patch notes is obviously the two new Navy SEAL operators that are going to be added along with the map border. And these two new operators, the attacker is going to be Blackbeard with his rifle shield and Valkyrie with her cameras. And then the map border is going to be free to everyone. All of this is released on the 11th, and obviously, Season Pass holders get the operators a week before, on the 11th, and then a week later, everyone else will get it. But the map is open to everyone. They're adding in a bunch of new weapon skins for Season 2, or Operation Dustline, obviously. Pretty awesome new update, in my opinion. I really, really like this, and the picture from the website is actually awesome. I definitely encourage you guys to look at it. Is the new headgear. So now you can swap out your headgear for what it says on the website is upgrades to high quality traditional military and fantasy gear using Renown and Rainbow Six credits or a combination. And the pictures of the new headgear they have look absolutely awesome. They look so cool on these new operators, and it finally makes the operators look different every time someone uses them. Another a thing for customization is going to be the charms. There's medals, unicorns, there's little toys of like each operator that you can put as a charm on the side of your little gun. There's some new features as well, and there's a showcase at the end of games to show the winning team, and the MVP will be in the middle. And this is awesome because now you can show off all of your face masks and stuff like that, and your charms and skins. Yeah, so that's really cool. Now they also will have loadout customization between rounds, which looks awesome, and everyone has been asking for this since the game came out, and they are finally putting it in. You can change your weapons, attachments, charms, and headgear all in between rounds now, so that is awesome. Maybe you need to switch up to be more long range or something. I talked about that in a little bit in the other video. And now there's a bunch of other stuff. So the operator balancing, which I went over briefly yesterday, they changed the way IQ's device, how you can see through it. You can see much easier through the screen. The detection for the device is now 20 meters. I'm not sure what it was before, but they've made it much larger, and it outlines the devices you're seeing. So IQ is definitely getting a buff. Tachanka also got a buff, and really, they just made it so you can put down the turret closer to walls and other objects. You get on and get off the turret much faster, but they said they're going to be tweaking Tachanka more in the future. Matanye, or however you say his name, I probably say it wrong every time. Let me know if you guys know how to pronounce it. His shield now covers 180 degrees, which I also covered in my video yesterday or 2 days ago. So now he provides much more cover for himself and people behind him now. And then there has been a bunch of there's a few more small buffs, and a lot of operators got toned down a little. So now Frost's Nitro Cell is actually being replaced with barbed wire. So that's going to be interesting because Frost's, they're taking out a lot of Nitro Cells and grenades. I think these are good upgrades because people are very reliant on Nitro Cells. Buck actually gets grenades instead of breaching charges because his shotgun is basically a breaching charge. But they also made his shotgun lose a lot of range. So now it's not going to be used as much as a weapon and more of a breaching tool. Thatcher's EMP grenades have much reduced range, so you can't clear an entire room of gadgets with Thatcher, which is good. And now Thatcher's EMP disables enemy sights for 10 seconds completely. Sledge's breaching charges, because he doesn't need breaching charges either, are now swapped for stun grenades, which is very interesting. I'm not sure if anyone will use stun grenades over frags, but he is a much better breacher now, in my opinion. Thermite, who is probably my favorite operator before the patch, because you need his tools, and Now they swapped out his frag grenades for stun grenades because they know you have to use Thermite, so everyone's going to use him every round that you can. And when he has frags, he just seems overpowered. So now there's really only a max of 2 offensive operators that you can have using frag grenades on the offensive team, which I think it's an okay addition. And all of this is just to balance the game much more. The SWAT recruit shield loadout, so all the people running around with recruit shields that had the much faster speed than a normal shield operator have now been reduced. So now they're a 3 armor and 1 movement speed, so now the recruit shields will be just as slow as the other operators with shields. They did a lot of gadget and attachment balancing. So now as you're placing gadgets, you can instantly cancel this. It says this feature will need to be turned on in the options menu. So make sure once the update comes out that you go to the options menu and turn on this gadget placement cancellation, because it's going to be so necessary. If you're using Thermite and you accidentally put a breaching charge down, start getting shot through your feet or something, or the wall has electric bandit charge on it, now you can cancel it in the middle, right in the middle, putting it down and start firing or running away or whatever you need to do. That is a great update. Red dot and reflex triangle sights are now much, much smaller to allow for better precision, which I think is great. An update I wasn't expecting is the flash hider and compensator have actually got pretty big buffs. So now the flash hider, while it still hides the flash, now it reduces the time it takes for the weapon to center back after the first shot recoil. So now if you're burst firing or single shotting, the flash hider will be a great attachment for you. And now there's a cap on the maximum recoil that the compensator allows for, making automatic fire more potent. So there's going to be a lot less recoil with the compensator now. So now both of those are a much more viable option. I mean, I personally always use the compensator anyway. I might have to try out the flash hider now. And another great update is that stun grenades now detonate after 1 second after making contact instead of 3 seconds, which is great because, as you guys have probably seen, you can throw a stun grenade into a room and then after 3 seconds they easily can just turn around and not get damaged by that flash. So that, in my opinion, is a great update. They made all of the pump shotguns do damage further away, so they're trying to make the pump shotguns have a better maximum damage range, which I never use them, so I guess that's interesting. Dead zones on controllers have been fixed, which hopefully this makes aiming with a controller much easier because I play on Xbox One, and it is impossible to make very small minor adjustments, but they said to have fixed this dead zone problem, and this is actually major update. Another one, no more penalty for destroying your own gadget. Now they put in a thing where you can't join into a game when they're about to update so you don't get kicked out of a ranked game or something like that. There's a few more things that I'm going to skip over right here. You can skip the boot sequence now by pressing any button. That's interesting. There's now going to be seasonal ranked, so at the end of Season 1, everyone's rank will be reset, and you will be rewarded for how well you did in Season 1, I assume with like a renown boost or something like that. And now they're doing a lot of fixes to ranked. Ranked matchmaking is now matching you closer with players of your skill, and now to get placed in a rank, you play 10 ranked matches instead of 5. There's a bunch more additions for ranked that you guys can check out in the description. I will put the link. Now when you abandon a ranked match, there's a renown penalty, as well as you can't start a game, obviously. There's a lot of gameplay optimizations which are actually big to the gameplay. They reduced exposure on operators' heads positioning while aiming. So like when you're looking down a window and someone can see your head but you can't see theirs, they fixed that a little bit. And leaning animations are now the same on both sides, because usually when you lean to the left, your operator's head stuck out more, but you couldn't really tell. So visual improvements, indoor and outdoor lighting differences are now less extreme, so you can see better from inside to outside and vice versa, which is great. You will actually be able to see out windows when you break them open, or see into windows when you break them open. Apparently graphics have been updated. Gun sounds are more realistic, so you'll be able to tell where someone is firing from. The kill cam black and white is less. When you're near death, that visual is reduced. Death animations are polished a little bit. A bunch of small updates. There's destruction improvements. There's only one, but it's you can shoot through car windows now, which is finally the people hiding outside of house by those car windows, or many maps. There's so many car windows that you should be able to shoot people through because they can just stare through the windows at you. And now you can finally shoot through the car windows. So that is going to be awesome. They changed the code of conduct and ban escalation, which for computer players I'm sure is a big deal. You now get banned for 15 days, and then the second time you get banned permanently. And for toxic behavior, it's a warning, then 2-day suspension, then 7-day, and then multiple offenses, you get a permanent ban. Then there's some PvE improvements that I'm not going to really go over because I'm honestly not too worried about the PvE improvements, to be honest with you guys. But now they fixed where if the host leaves in PvE, the whole game doesn't get kicked out, so that's nice. Now there are some main bug fixes. They're trying to fix throwing nitro cells. They're trying to make that more smooth, so when you throw it through like a window that's only partially broken, it should not get stuck on something that it doesn't actually hit, which happens a lot right now. They changed a bunch of glitches and a lot of glitches to get out of the map and stuff like that. Now a player wearing Rook's armor plate is dead instead of being put down. Blitz's head is fixed, and they fixed the frag grenade and the fuse grenade on the other side of walls. Okay, yeah, so there's just basically a bunch of fixed patches for level design and the weapons, and there's a lot of stuff wrong with the game that they fixed that I'm not going to go into. You guys can check that out in the description. I will put a link. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this update video. It's probably going to be somewhat boring to many people, but there's a lot of stuff in here that it's good to be wary of, like turning on the option for some of the effects and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.